So the other big thing from BlizzCon that we've seen is Overwatch 2. And I want to get Spicy's thoughts on this first. They showed a story cinematic trailer that was, is Overwatch back? Yes, we're back, baby. But what they talked about was PvE. I want to really get Spicy's thoughts on PvE, because Spicy is our resident Overwatch player. That's his game of choice, or has been his game of choice in the past. Yeah,
I really like Overwatch a lot.
So the announcement of PvE in Overwatch, it was no secret that it was coming, so this just kind of finalized it on stage for everybody. They talked a little about it. Jeff Kaplan did. What are your thoughts on PvE? Do you like this idea? There's also a new game mode coming too in PvP, but what is Overwatch 2 PvE thoughts?
Okay. They actually announced several things. We can talk about the PvP because PvE. They have a hero mode. What are all the modes, Jordan? Do you remember?
So there's going to be your PvE/story mode or whatever. Yeah. There's going to be hero mode, which is the same thing. It's still a PvE mode, but it's more. They kept comparing it to like adventure mode in Diablo 3.
They said
or World Quest in World of Warcraft.
Highly replayable.
Yeah,
highly replayable.
And then there is the new mode push for competitive.
Correct. Yeah. So PvP. So and right now you have capture the hill basically, and then you escort a payload, and then you have a hybrid of those two. Mm-hmm. That's what they've had in Overwatch for the last 5 years. They're adding now. It's like a tug of war payload.
Both sides have to push the payload.
There is a robot pushing something, whatever direction has it. So it's so a payload. You have to escort the payload into their base, right?
And it's attack. It's attack versus defense.
Correct. Yes.
Right now,
this is the PvP side of things. This is you have to control that point, and then the point moves to the direction of the other team. And if they lose control of that, I assume when they're all there, it doesn't move. When they have control, it'll go the other direction. So it's a total tug of war.
Yeah, they showed it during the What's Next panel. So what there is, did you see the What's Next?
I didn't.
It's really cool. So what it is, so when they first announced it, I was like, oh, cool, new mode. And yeah, I kind of brushed over it, but I think it's a super cool mode. So the map is mirrored. It's a perfectly symmetrical map. And basically there's a lane that goes, symmetrical on both sides, and there's one robot in the center. You control that one robot, and then if you control him, he then goes and pushes your thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the team, basically you fight over control of that robot. And how it works is the more players you have on that robot, he'll go your way, or the more and then if it's
also it
5v5.
doesn't stop. So if they have one person on it and we have 4, it's still going in that direction.
That's how I think it would be, and that's kind of how they showed it. They only showed it with like test characters, like a Maeve or Saphira type thing.
Okay.
But basically, when no one controls it, he runs back to the center.
Oh, because that's
and then you'll go want to run back and
with
get,
the tug of war. I'm thinking because they said this is going to be in
so is it
the Overwatch League. Well, no, you have to get
distance based.
It's distance based. You have to get to the other side. I was thinking if you have 2 really good teams, the matches are going to last hours.
Well, because I thought there was
got to be on a timer, right?
Robots.
Is it on a timer?
I don't know.
So what it is there is a timer, and then when that timer runs out, whoever's let's call it a marker, whoever's marker's furthest wins. There's also a checkpoint on the map for each side. If you make it to that checkpoint becomes your forward spawn, so you get an advantage because you spawn closer.
Okay.
Right?
There you go.
And then there is an ending point if you make it all the way to the ending point before
if time runs out. It's whoever got
automatic,
it furthest.
Yeah, time runs out. Whoever got it furthest wins. If you get it to your ending point, automatic victory.
Oh, very cool. I like
But yeah,
that.
it's one central robot with a symmetrical map, and whoever controls that bot, it's not the point you control; it's the actual bot. So you have to stay on him.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually, after watching it in like demo gameplay that they were showing, it actually does look really fun.
Okay.
That sounds cool. That's a cool concept.
I should also mention the reason we're talking about Diablo and Overwatch is they announced that they're releasing it for Xbox. So
yeah. No phones.
They did not mention mobile. Yay. So back to your original question, my thoughts on it. I think it's great. I think this game needs a lot of updates. They announced that they're going to be releasing for Overwatch 2 several maps and several heroes.
Yep.
Me and Jordan had this discussion earlier today. I'm curious on why they're calling it a sequel. And
For Overwatch 2?
yeah, because I mean, they actually started out, Jeff Kaplan was saying, we want to re-envision what a sequel actually means, you know? And all these things make me think that they're trying to envision a sequel as actually being an expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the panel, he actually mentioned it again because he talked about it. He said, just to clarify, because he was looking at Twitter and stuff between sessions, he's like, a lot of people were confused, and he kind of re-explained it.
Well, it is confusing.
Which made a little bit more sense. And then even I love Jeff Kaplan, by the way. He's one of my favorite game
awesome.
directors. Yeah.
He's like Phil Spencer of Blizzard.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
But even
Although
after
now Phil Spencer is Phil Spencer of Blizzard.
You were talking about Mikey Barra?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Never mind.
I know we were like,
That's
what?
false news, fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Ooh, just in. This just in. Sorry.
No,
Our good friend Mikey Barra went to Blizzard.
He re-explained it again, and I kind of got what he was saying, but I was still kind of confused. So I then went to the internet, and I do have an explanation that does make sense.
Oh,
that I will read for you guys.
Okay, let's
so
hear
this is from The Verge. So if it's wrong, blame them, not me. But basically, it says Blizzard is taking the unconventional approach to this sequel, promising, quote, a shared multiplayer environment where current Overwatch players, which meaning Overwatch 1, will be able to play against Overwatch 2 players in PvP multiplayer and will have access to all the new Overwatch 2 heroes and maps. And then Jeff Kaplan also went on to say, if you do go to Overwatch 2, everything you've earned and gained in Overwatch 1 comes with you. All your skins, sprays, everything.
Well,
right? So
why go
the
to,
idea...
Why go to Overwatch? I don't understand where the disconnect is.
They said the reason they're calling it a sequel is because the sheer amount of content that's coming in Overwatch 2, it is a proper sequel, and they are using updated engine, new features, stuff like that.
Basically, what you don't get if you don't go to Overwatch 2, because you still get all the PvP stuff, you don't get the PvE stuff.
Now, keeping this in mind, there's still a lot we don't know, right? You know, so
at least according to this definition.
Yeah, what I'm thinking, and this is what I told Mark earlier, what I think is happening is you're paying for the new single-player co-op experience, right? That's what you'll mostly be updating to, right?
Yeah.
My question is they have they talked about having a new engine, or not a new engine, an updated engine, and they did say specifically co-op maps that could handle bigger, larger co-op experiences. And what I want to know is if that engine can handle that, how is the Overwatch engine on Overwatch 1 going to be able to play on those new Overwatch 2 maps? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they did specifically say co-op, so maybe that doesn't apply to the multiplayer maps.
They said updated engine, which it's not a new engine.
Well, yeah, updated engine, yeah. So, now I don't know if they're going to come out with like this huge update when Overwatch 2 announces, because in the new in Overwatch 2, you're going to have new character models, and you can kind of see the character. Basically, they talked about the new technology they're using for their character models and blah, 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 and all that stuff, right? Basically, there's a lot we don't know, but what we do know is if you don't want to buy Overwatch 2 and you just want to hold on to Overwatch 1, you can, of right now,
they're not dividing the player base.
You can still play Overwatch 2 PvP multiplayer and will have access to all new Overwatch 2 heroes and maps.
Yeah. It's interesting.
See, if it was any other game, say Battlefield, or let's just say Battlefield. When they release a few new maps and a few new characters, let's even say Rainbow Six. That's considered an expansion. And you still get to play with all the people that have the original game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to redefine a sequel as an expansion.
It feels to me...
Maybe hype is what they're trying to do?
Even through this video,
possible.
it feels to me that they're trying to reset. Because even in the video, they're like, are you guys back? And that was a very poignant thing. It was like, well, and I'm thinking like, well, you never went anywhere. And they're like, we're back. And I think Overwatch 2 is...
John Wick.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking I'm back.
Well, and I think Overwatch 2 is... Like, the reason they're calling Overwatch 2 is because we're changing some things, right? I don't know what they're changing.
Well, what I thought it was,
but that's what it feels like a reset. That they want to, boom, reset from here on.
What I thought it was going to be, and what I told Mark is, I thought it was going to be. No, it still is confusing, even though we got some clarification. And like I said, there's still a lot we don't know. Things can change, whatever, right? But basically, I thought it was going to be like what Heroes of the Storm did. Heroes of the Storm came out with a massive update that changed a lot of things, and they called it Heroes 2.0. Yeah. I thought this was going to be Overwatch 2.0. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Well, so what they're saying, or what they said during the panel, is Overwatch 2. It's going to have a lot of content, right? It's going to have. They talked about having just as much maps as Overwatch 1 when it released. They're going to have all original 31 heroes plus new ones. So there's going to be a lot of content in there, but that's my question is, okay, well, what's making me... I play Overwatch mostly for the multiplayer, which, don't get me wrong, the single player or the story stuff looks cool, right? And I'll probably end up getting it, but your competitive scene... basically, my question is, how much are you going to charge and what do you get? Am I paying $60 just for the story stuff? Because if that's the case... As an average consumer, maybe I'm thinking, well, if I already have access to all the multiplayer stuff, why upgrade to 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where the incentive is for some people, as opposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's well, it's PvE.
Yeah,
that's what it seems to be.
And
right now.
I'm not saying it's going to be $60. Maybe it's just going to be a $40 thing, and that's a little bit more appealing for just that mode, or you know what I mean? Now they did dive a lot into the PvE stuff, and there's a lot of cool features. The story looks cool. The maps look cool. It has that RPG element of upgrading abilities to certain characters, and there's actually one for Hanzo players. I thought it was actually the best ability. You can level up your heroes in this story mode, and you can choose different modifiers to your abilities. One that Hanzo has a radar arrow that you shoot out, and then it pings everybody and shows them in red. Basically, the modifier that you can do is he shoots out the arrow, it pings everybody, and then his next arrow actually auto-targets everybody that was pinged. So it actually looked really cool. So
that is cool.
There's a lot of cool features coming in that mode, and I think it's going to be fun because Blizzard does a lot of good stuff, and their storytelling is really good.
Oh, their storytelling's on point.
Mark's actually been getting into the lore recently, and he's saying it's fantastic.
The lore
of
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. I just, like most players, are kind of confused, and I asked the question, well, like, why upgrade to 2? Is it just the thing? What? I just have questions is all.
Yeah, I think
I'm excited, but I have questions.
I think overall, calling it Overwatch 2 is just confusing people.
Well, it's confusing me.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Well, it's not confusing. It's just I don't like it when people use traditional terms
Yeah, it's so
that mean one thing
In a non-traditional way?
They're changing my vocabulary. Like I don't know why Fortnite is a beta. It's not a beta.
You know what's funny is when Chapter 2, total off topic here, when Chapter 2 launched, I was like, oh, I wonder if they have beta on the loading screen still. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They still have it
Yeah,
on the
I was
loading
like,
screen?
hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's still beta.
how is it still in
even
beta?
after Chapter 2 and I don't know, $5 billion?
Maybe that's the official name of the game. Like beta. Just name your game beta, and you can always have it as beta.
Actually, Fortnite Chapter 2 is a perfect example. I think Overwatch 2 is exactly what Fortnite Chapter 2 is. They're just calling
the
it by
Overwatch
the
version?
sequel name instead of what the other guys
Instead of what everyone else is doing, Season 2, Chapter 2.
It's just confusing.
My question is, are they going to get rid of loot boxes?
I hope
I
so.
think they've got to go Battle Pass at this point.
Everybody's doing it.
I understand Spicy's complaint of loot. I have zero motivation to open any loot box playing that game. It just doesn't matter to me. If you gave me a Battle Pass and you showed me what cool skins I could get and work towards, I would pay $10 to work towards them.
Yeah.
That's just, it's the best way to do it. Loot box is foolish. Like, at this point, it's archaic.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid.
it's a bad way. It's not a bad way.
No, it's bad. It's the worst way to monetize a game I paid for.
Yeah, it's just give me a battle pass. Be upfront with me. This is what you can earn with your battle pass. This is what you get bonus for your battle pass. You can earn back your battle pass if you play it enough, and I would be all there. And right now, for me, the freaking grind to get to comp, I would pay for it just for the bonus experience. Like, give me that option, but you don't even give me that option.
You want to know my favorite part about BlizzCon that I actually laughed to Mark about because it's just the way they presented it was funny. So far, it's really good. I think there's been a lot of good announcements. Even the World of Warcraft stuff's getting me excited. But they go, all right, guys, we have Diablo 4. We have Overwatch 2. We got the new Warcraft expansion. And we still have StarCraft and Heroes. But then we have the new Hearthstone expansion. It was funny. They kind of just glossed over it and then went on to the...
You got to figure they're working on another StarCraft, right? Like, it's always kind of in motion.
Well,
like long term.
I mean, those games are still very popular. I just think their model is different.
I think they work on a lot of games, but if you're announcing Diablo 4 and you tell your audience, it's not even Blizzard close.
Yeah.
That tells me that StarCraft is probably going to be around for my grandkids. You know, it doesn't seem like it's ever going to be in my lifetime.
No, that's a good point. Overall, Overwatch, excited for it, guys? Not excited?
No, more
or just
stuff.
confused?
No, more stuff. I like the game
exciting.
of Overwatch. Yeah, it's very exciting.
I mean, Overwatch 2 sounds odd to me when
No,
it's
I
not
agree.
it's not but in their position, you're going to split your audience. Well, they are splitting their audience in a way, but you want to update the game, but at the same time, you created an esports scene, and a lot of money is dumped into that whole thing. It costs what, $50 million to start a new team. They have all the sponsors and all that stuff going on. You can't just make another game.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, that's why I think it's kind of PvP is one side, PvE is the real new game.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, kind of how they're shifting. At least that's what it seems at this point. We could be wrong. We could be completely wrong because we're confused.
well, we know what it is. It's just they're calling it something different.
Before we get to the news, we did get a question from Black Knight about BlizzCon. He says BlizzCon was today, and their intro was them apologizing for the recent event that happened with the famous streamer who got banned. What do you guys think about it? And what did you think of BlizzCon? I think overall, so far, we really like BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah.
As far as the apology, I mean, they did what they thought they had to do. I watched the apology. I didn't think they said what I would like them to say, but I'm not in charge of their company, and I mean, they're clearly concerned about their bottom dollar. That's it.
Can I say what you told me before the show when we were talking
go ahead.
about? It sounded like they apologized for getting in trouble.
Yeah, like that's it. Like they apologized for not apologizing. It wasn't an actual apology. That's my thoughts on it.
I'm sorry that
I'm sorry that you guys didn't like what we did. Like that's basically what he said. So
And we're gonna get it right.
We're going to get it right.
The
confusing part is they talk about their company. This is the part that's confusing to me. Is he's like, and we just didn't stand behind our company values, and then that's it. It's like,
and we're gonna get it right.
So what are your company values then, right? Like, so what are your
Yeah.
company values? Like, are your values for people being free or not? Right? Like, you got to clarify it. But anyways, I mean,
and
Blizzard,
then they announced Overwatch 2.
and then they just jumped into Diablo, and I forgot all about it, so it didn't matter. But I mean, to be honest, that's really what happened. But I just
honestly, I think that was the plan.
I just think their apology was fairly weak. Not even fairly weak. I think it was just weak. I don't think.
I'm sorry we got in trouble.
I'm sorry we got in trouble.
That's basically
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to stay on that. I don't like that topic at all.
It's true. We like the games, not the other side of things, right?
But BlizzCon itself so far is going fantastic. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
They are doing a level squish in the new Warcraft expansion. They're bringing everybody down to level 50.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to level up to 60.
You like that? You like that?
Because
we're just astronomical?
It's just getting we're level 120 now. It's just getting out of control.
When you can't even see the amount of damage you're doing because all the zeros go off the screen.
I know, yeah. You're like, really? When you have to like